Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Friday, November 26th. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, including my partner. We usually tape on Thursdays, but because of the holiday, we're taping on Fridays. So a little bit late this week. In any event, Chipper, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving as well, my friend.
Well, it's always great in NFL football to watch your money go down the drain. I was choking on some turkey leg last night, I can tell you that. But hey, it's a day in the life. Wonderful weekend coming up, and had it coming off a great weekend last week. So a lot of big things in store this weekend, both college and NFL action.
Well, today is our college football betting edition, and we saw a couple games go last night, or two games yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. Again, folks, the lines we give you on these videos are at the time of taping. So keep that in mind. Whenever you view the video, you may see line change. It's not because we're not on top of things. It's because we're using the line at the time that we're taping. So in any event, Chipper, Mississippi beats Mississippi State last night. And we were talking off air, and I was a little surprised to find out that Ole Miss has now won 10 regular season games for the first time in school history. Wow. And then also a game that looked to be a little bit tricky yesterday because I couldn't understand why Fresno State wasn't a bigger favorite in that contest based on my eye test. And sometimes your eyes don't lie to you because Fresno State just crushed them 40-9. Anyway, any thoughts on college football betting last week? What's coming up?
Well, I have a thought on what you mentioned, and it's kind of unusual. You think Mississippi had two great quarterbacks named Manning, and neither of them won 10 games in a year. Of course, Archie didn't play as many games as Eli did when he was there. But college football, we knew it was going to happen in Oregon. We had said it beforehand. You had predicted Michigan State. I had said this team, the Ducks, were a fraud. They come up an underdog. You and I both pounded the man with Utah. Big time winner, never close, never contest. Never even in this game. What if these two match up again? And there are a lot of different storylines we can work on with this Oregon team. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, hard to figure. I mean, here's a team that went to Stanford earlier this year, and I think Stanford's somewhere around 3-8 on the year. And they lose at Stanford, and then they run the table the rest of the way, and all of a sudden, in the final week of the regular season, they're sitting at number 3, and Cincinnati's on the outside looking in, undefeated. Yet Oregon suffers a bad loss like Stanford. So it's almost like they did college football fans a favor. I'm sure that's not going to make the people in the Pac-12 happy, or Oregon fans. Nothing personal, folks. It's just that I don't think that they were the number or one of the top 4 teams.
They opened the season with a great win at Ohio State. Obviously, the Buckeyes weren't in sync, and the Ducks were flying high. So that's great for them. But they really, they weren't that good, I didn't think. And, we see them to lose to Stanford, who only won 3 of 11 games. And has really been a horrid bird this year. Well, not a bird, but they're a Cardinal. So, they need a little more prayers out on the West Coast to help that team, because Stanford was atrocious this year.
Yeah, and in any event, I had Utah as my college football 10-star game of the week. By the way, folks, my website is rbwins.com. The last 3 Saturdays in college football, I've gone 14-5, including 10-star game of the weeks on my aforementioned play on Utah, who was -3 and a 38-7 blowout winner over Oregon. The week before, I had Ohio State -21. They win by 28 over Purdue in a game that was never in doubt as well. So things are rolling at rbwins.com in regards to college football. I'll have 4 to 5 selections up this week in college football, including another 10-star top play. And you want to check me out. You also want to check Chip out at chipwins.com. Don't forget, folks, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly take a second to do so, because it costs you absolutely nothing, and free is always good. And we do our best here to give you free pick winners every week. Doesn't always result that way, but you're getting advice from some of the best in the industry, myself, Chip Chirimbus, and Doug Upstone of DocSports.com. So again, folks, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a like. Chipper, what do you got for us in college football on Saturday?
After beating up the Oregon Ducks, I think I'll do a game between them and the Beavers. Oregon State is playing at Oregon this weekend, and a strong, hefty favorite. I think 7's a strong number in this game because Oregon State's been outstanding this year. 7-4 against the number. Ross, when you think about Oregon, you always think of their offense. Now, this year, the balanced offense is averaging over 200 yards rushing and passing, 428 yards a game on the year. And the Beavers over here, these guys are chopping down trees all over the place, Ross. 436 yards a game, 10 more yards a game than is Oregon. I was kind of surprised about that. Ducks at home haven't been the Bears' favorites at all. 2-9 the last 11. And on the other side of the coin, 10-3 as a road dog are the Beavers. Oregon State, the numbers wise, 11-3-1, the road warrior in the series between these two. And guess what? Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to have to take Oregon here. I think this number is really strong. I know the Ducks have been great all year. It's just, Oregon's 6-0 at home, but they're 1-5 against the number. They're due to play a really good game. And after the way they were just annihilated last week, maybe the safest play, Ross, would be to go over. 14-4 in the last 18 meetings. So, I think it's going to be a great game. And I've loved Oregon State all year. We've had them in a couple of key situations, and we've faded the Ducks for the most part. They were 4-7. But this is like a mirror game, See, it's really the opposite of what you're looking at, So I'm going to lay Oregon, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. That's all I got.
Oregon -7 is your player or the over?
No, I'll play Oregon.
Oregon -7 over Oregon State. After that prelude where we crucified Oregon. It just goes to show you it's a week-to-week thing, man.
We talked about what you see one week isn't necessarily what you get the next. Dallas gets annihilated and they come back and destroy Atlanta, then they get annihilated again. It's just it's the way of sports. It's hard for them to keep the emotional level at an optimum peak. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, especially in a physical game like football, It's even more difficult. In any event, I'm going to take a look at an absolute stinker, West Virginia at Kansas, two teams with a losing record. However, the West Virginia Mountaineers are a 15.5-point favorite in this contest. Now, West Virginia's had a nice home record over the last 2 seasons, but they stink on the road. The last 2 years, they've gone 1-8 straight up on the road. This is the first time they're going to be a road favorite since early 2019. And, Kansas, the perennial doormat in the Big 12. I've been really impressed with their compete level, Chip, despite their record, especially in the last 2 games. First year head coach Lance Leopold, who came from University of Buffalo, doing as best a patch-up job as he could with the talent he's got to work with.
They're playing hard, Ross. They're running back, running hard. I've noticed that not only their follow-up game after their big upset win, they were still out there banging heads. And, they got a taste of victory, like a taste of blood, maybe. Not as good as but, you can get effort out of them. You got a chance.
Yeah, so we got a weak road team, and they're certainly not going to be sky high to play at Kansas. They're certainly not going to be bowl eligible. This is also a Kansas team, as Chip alluded to 2 weeks ago, pulled off an upset at Texas as a 31-point favorite. And last week as a 21-point dog at TCU, they barely lose 31-28, but easily cover once again. So that's what I mean about their compete level. In the last 2 games, they were a +5 in the turnover differential, and that certainly played a large part in them being right there or winning. On the other hand, this is a West Virginia team for the season, a -8 turnover differential. So look for that to be a key contributing factor in us getting the cover in this game. So I'm going to like Bill Rafferty says, onions. I'm going to go with the Kansas Jayhawks. It's college football, not basketball, folks. Kansas Jayhawks.
Plus JoJo White to help you today. I'll tell you that.
Plus 15.5 at West Virginia, as Chip Chirimbas shows his age and his experience with the JoJo White reference. Anyway, Chip, what do you got going on this week?
Well, Ross, I was listening to the numbers you were spewing in college football, and that was pretty impressive. And I hang my hat on the single strongest play of the day. We won 4 straight conference games of the year right now. Cincinnati, the latest blowout winner. None of them have really even been close. Cincinnati destroys SMU, 10-point favorite. I mean, they were 48-0 at the half, or it was 48-14 final anyway. Rolling along with these games, and I have a big one Saturday in the SEC Southeast Conference, late start. So just follow the buy links. Give me a call, chipwins.com, and we're ready to go.
Once again, folks, I'm at rbwins.com. That's R as in Ross, B as in Benjamin, wins.com. And you could find my college football picks for Saturday, 4 to 5 selections. All will be released later today. Again, we're recording on Friday the 26th. And once again, 14-5 in the last 3 Saturdays in college football, folks. So after a slow start, I'm picking up a lot of steam. 2 game of the week winners the last 2 weeks. Last week on Utah, 2 weeks ago, Ohio State, who crushed Purdue. So again, folks, rbwins.com and chipwins.com. Until the next time, I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. For Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, good luck and God bless.